Hi parents, welcome to Open House. This is Angela Sewell and you are at Open House for AP Psychology, all right? Just to start off, I wanted you to know the best ways to contact me. It's always best to contact me by email if you can, because that you can catch me on, pretty much 24/7. My email address is angela.sewell@ocps.net. At school, you can just call the school and then ask for extension 601-2231. The best time they reach me is at 7 a.m. I'm from 7 a.m. until 8:15. I'm available. I have first period plan, or after 2:20. Okay, if you can catch me as close to 2:30, 3 o'clock as you can. I'm often here much later than that for my daughter's volleyball practices, but as close to 2:30 as you can is probably best, okay? In AP Psych, we use standards-based grading. So we've broken down the College Board curriculum into learning standards. And so we assess students based on standards. We give them the standards, we give them essential questions and vocabulary at the beginning of each unit so they know exactly what they're going to be tested for and tested on. We also make Quizlets for them so they can practice the vocabulary. So we've really reduced the amount of work that students have in AP Psych, and we try to make it really precise. Here's what you need to know. Here's what you need to do to be successful on every test. Students will take a test on each standard. So one unit may have 4 or 5 standards depending on the size of the unit. And so we'll test them. They'll get a separate test for each standard. Every standard's worth 100 points. Sometimes we'll combine a couple of standards if they're small. So on their test today, then they had 4 standards, but it was actually 5 standards. We just combined 2 of the standards into one. Okay, and so they have the opportunity to retake any standard they did badly on. So today they took the research test. And so if you look at their standards, there's 4 different grades. They can retake any of those tests that they did poorly on. They'll have to complete retake requirements and then they can retake it. Quizzes and homework generally don't count towards the mastery grade except for reading quizzes and vocabulary quizzes. Those count as 10% of their grade. Other assignments we do to learn, not really for points, often for feedback. You'll see the quiz grades posted there as well. 10% are formative assessments, which would be quizzes and work that we think has to be graded for them to do it. And then 90% are their assessments on the standards. How do you monitor your student? The Canvas homepage is going to tell you a lot. The weekly agenda tells you, it's now a daily agenda actually. So if you look at Canvas at their calendar, you'll see the weekly agenda each day on the calendar, and that tells you exactly what they're responsible for that day. We hyperlink everything. So if you're absent, any student's absent on any given day, they know exactly what they did. The notes, the videos, whatever we did is linked for them so they can go in and get whatever they missed. They can, it'll tell them what, if they need to take a quiz or what they need to do. It's very clear. So hopefully you can take a chance, take some time and look at that agenda. Canvas grades will show you what their grade is and are they doing the assignments? How are they doing on mastery? Skyward, of course, is the official grades. Also take a look at their notebook or their binder. They should have one. Ask your student, can I see your binder? And it should have a lot of work in it, a lot of notes, a lot of different things that we've done. If they don't have a binder, if they're doing it electronically, see if they have a file folder for AP Psych, and they should have at least 3 subfiles in it, and they should have a bunch of work in it. Are your students completing the work? This class is not hard. If kids show up for class and they do the work that we give them, it's all targeted to help them pass the test. We don't give a bunch of extraneous work just to do work. It's all targeted so that they'll do well on the test. All right, what should we expect? What do your kids need to do to be successful? They got to read, okay? We've cut that down. We've made them readings in a website called S'more. There are videos embedded with the readings. If they read that material, watch the videos, and take notes, that will be hugely helpful for them. It's much less reading than you do in most AP classes that use textbook reading, but we found that there was a lot in the textbook they didn't need, so we carved it out. So again, we're really trying to target it so that they can do less work, but still know what they need to know for that AP exam and still get good grades. They need to practice their vocabulary, and frankly, they're not doing it. We make the vocabulary for them because of this distance learning and everything. Everything's open notes. They're not practicing their vocabulary, and it may not be a big deal. Everybody's happy with their grade, but if we come back in the classroom and they have to start taking tests like normal, where they don't get to use their notes, this is going to kill them. And on the AP exam, if they don't know the vocabulary, they're really going to struggle and have difficulty passing it. AP Psych exams are giant vocabulary tests. So it says they can make their own Quizlets. Most students just make the Quizlets that we provide for them. They also have a chance for extra credit. We give an Albert I.O. assignment prior to each test. If they complete the assignment and they legitimately do it, then they'll get 10 points added to every standard. This is a letter grade for them. And there are many students, you should check with your student, there are many students who do not do this. We're giving them free test points. Test grades are 90% of their grade, and they're still not doing the Albert I.O. So the other thing is attendance. These launch ed kids, if your kid is launch ed, they're logging in. I'm counting them present, but are they really present? And the answer is oftentimes no. If they're not there listening and taking notes and doing the things they would do in a normal classroom, then they're going to have difficulty. They've got to complete the practice assignments. We don't give an assignment if it's not teaching them something. And so, I really worry about our launch ed kids and whether they are getting the experience, because they're logging into class and then they're not there. When I call their names, they're not there. So usually if I can catch that, then you'll see that they've been counted absent. So check your child's attendance record for every class, not just overall, because if they miss 6 classes, they're going to call you. But if they're just logging in, we're not going to catch it every time. You're probably not going to have any idea. So check on that. Again, retakes, your students have the chance to retake all assessments. So if they have a bad test grade, there's no reason they shouldn't retake it. They usually have about a week from the day the grade is posted. We always try and give them a weekend so that they have time to complete the assignments. The assignments that are called retake requirements, it's the assignments they should have done already. So if they're like, oh, it's too much work, well, then they're not doing their work that they should be doing as they go. And so it's the worksheets in class. Every once in a while, we'll give an extra learning experience for them. And so they'll have to do that. But it's not hard. Your kids should have A's and B's. If it's a child, their first AP class, maybe a C. D's or F, they're just not doing their work. They're not showing up for class. They're not doing their work because it's open note tests. So this is the easiest AP Psych has ever been. All right, how can they improve? Do the work, show up for class, take the retakes, and work on their study skills a little bit. Maybe note taking is weak for them. Office hours, I can be reached again before school until about 8:15, and then after school 2:30 to 3:30 for sure, sometimes a little bit longer. And I also have a lunch, so kids can get tutoring, they can get help, anything they need. So thank you.